Ever had one of those moments in life when you've meticulously planned out your day only for it to unravel into a comical disaster? Or had no care in the world but ended up entertained in someone else's hilarious mess? Then you'll enjoy the delightfully relatable slice of life gem, Skip and Loafer, that will transport you back to your youthful days filled with awkward moments, drama, and heartwarming friendships. In this video, we're diving into a tale about a high school girl from rural Japan navigating the bustling city of Tokyo to pursue her dreams. Here you'll meet many familiar but quirky characters, from the hilariously dedicated Mitsumi Iwakura to the effortlessly cool and laid-back Sousuke Shima, and a dynamic ensemble of supporting characters, each adding their unique hues to the story. Not only will we delve into the funny and heartwarming plot, but we'll also take you behind the scenes to reveal the magic behind the anime's creation, exploring its unique blend of faithfulness to the original manga and innovative divergence. And of course, we'll touch on the message that author Misaki Takamatsu intended to deliver through her series, so gather your comfiest cushions, nestle in your favorite spot, and let's get started! The journey of Skip and Loafer is brought to life by the masterful touch of Misaki Takamatsu. Initially aiming to craft a comedy revolving around high school antics, she soon realized that her tale needed to be grounded in realism to truly resonate. This touch of authenticity has undoubtedly played a substantial role in the success of Skip and Loafer, which caught the eye of renowned studio PA Works, the creative force behind notable works like Shirobako, Another, and The Eccentric Family. Equally instrumental to the anime's success is another formidable woman, the quietly remarkable director Kotomi Dei. Through sheer grit and perseverance, she has carved out a name for herself in the industry. From an admirer of Cowboy Bebop's director, Shinichiro Watanabe, she eventually became one of his cherished protege. But we'll delve deeper into her journey from fan to creative powerhouse later. For now, let's dive into a world of whimsy and wonder as we follow Mitsumi Iwakura, a spirited girl hailing from a quaint corner of Ishikawa Prefecture, as she ventures into the bustling heart of Tokyo for her thrilling high school journey. Despite growing up in a tranquil town with a grand total of 8 classmates, Mitsumi brims with an unshakable confidence that doesn't shy away from the dazzling city life. But why is that? It's because she's armed with a plan: top her class, land a government job, return to her beloved hometown, and eventually revitalize the land as its mayor. With a top score on her entrance exam, this ambitious dream seems within reach, if not for her slightly overactive sense of humor.
人の上に立つべき人間だからです。
Awkward jokes much? And life's pesky knack for unpredictability. This reality check hits Mitsumi right on the nose during her entrance ceremony at school as she finds herself tangled in the notorious Tokyo rush hour. Amid the chaos, fate has a way of playing its cards as she crosses paths with a fellow student, Sousuke Shima. This laid-back Tokyoite has with looks of a model, but has an academic interest that could best be described as paper-thin. Yet he's captivated by Mitsumi's amusingly oddball struggle to reach the entrance ceremony and decides to lend her a helping hand. This comically awkward encounter becomes a spark that ignites their friendship. Compared to this, it'll be smooth sailing towards a blissful high school life, right? Not so fast! Mitsumi soon discovers that high school isn't a walk in the park. Sosuke's legion of admirers, his fangirls, aren't thrilled about Mitsumi's newfound closeness with their idol. Oblivious to their simmering jealousy, our ever-so innocent Mitsumi, undeterred, continues to adjust to the unfamiliar landscape of her school life. But her charmingly quirky personality enables her to bond with different types of people, learning from them and adapting along the way. But if Mitsumi's first day was any indicator, it's that an unpredictable high school life awaits. And now, with the captivating backdrop of the story fresh in your minds, it's time to plunge into the heart and soul of Skip and Loafer. Its vibrant characters. Buckle up, because you're in for a delightful ride. Introducing our charming and sparkling lead protagonist, the whimsically dreamy Mitsumi Iwakura. Raised in the tranquil yet somewhat secluded pockets of Ishikawa Prefecture, Mitsumi's upbringing was a close-knit affair, surrounded by a handful of devoted friends and a loving family. Oh, and let's not forget about her furry companion, her beloved dog, and 2 cats. Despite her rural town origins, Mitsumi's spirit brims with affection for her hometown. As the place that fuels her dreams and aspirations, she can't help but blush when sharing them during her class introduction. Mitsumi is the kind of character whose thought process feels like a mirror of our own. Her quirks and charms resonate with us, whether we're wide-eyed students or seasoned adults. Her overthinking? Absolutely relatable. Her tendency to drift off into outlandish scenarios? We've been there. The way she gets so consumed by her thoughts that she doesn't take her test properly, well, it just adds to her endearing and relatable charm. These quirks not only infuse the show with a wholesome and lighthearted spirit, but also make Mitsumi the sweet, relatable person that eases you in to connect with her, adding a dollop of warmth to characters and audience alike. With each episode, you'll find yourself not merely entertained by watching Mitsumi, but living her journey, cheering her on, and perhaps even cracking up as you watch her obliviousness come into play. Next up in the spotlight is our ever-so-cool heartthrob of a protagonist, Sousuke Shima, arguably the nicest guy you could ever meet. Despite being a student at a prestigious school, Sousuke isn't precisely what you'd call a model student. He's more of a laid-back, just-get-by kind of guy and finds school a tad bit dull, to say the least. That is until he crosses paths with the eccentric Mitsumi. Her quirks and unique perspectives add vibrant color to his otherwise monotone school life, from her frantic and pitiful dash towards the entrance ceremony to her self-discovery of mixing sweet and salty popcorn. From their first encounter, an inexplicable magnetism pulls him towards her, and we see him constantly around her. But don't let Sousuke's laid-back exterior fool you. He's incredibly tuned to those around him. Take, for instance, the moment he noticed Mika feeling insecure as she compared herself to the beautiful Yuzuki. Quick to comfort her, he compliments her style, easing her worries in a heartbeat. Or when he notices the heat at the zoo is too much for Mitsumi, he tells her that they can come back at another time. But these acts of kindness are only the tip of the iceberg. Did we mention he's a former child actor who's as talented as they come, though he's rather tight-lipped about his past and is no longer interested in acting? It's hinted that he only did it in the first place to keep his mother happy. As we delve deeper into his history, it seems he was involved in a controversy that haunts him to this present day. But the question on everyone's mind is, will Sousuke ever return to the silver screen? Regardless of whether he does, one thing's sure, we're all eagerly waiting to see how his fascination with Mitsumi blooms into something more. Then, complementing our central duo, we have an ensemble of friends that, despite the unique differences that wouldn't usually put them in the same social circle, all manage to create a genuine friendship. First, meet Mika Egashira, a girl who wants extremely hard to get where she needs to be, whether it's losing weight, keeping up with trendy style, or getting good at sports. She may be misunderstood due to her manipulative tendencies to get closer to Shima, but Mika's blatant honesty and straightforwardness have a certain authenticity that cannot be overlooked. It's where she speaks her truth without mincing words or sugarcoating, a trait that Mitsumi deeply admires. Next up, we have the popular type Yuzuki Murashige, who's also, not to mention, incredibly stunning. She's always looking out for Mitsumi, and despite having a slew of admirers for her flawless features, she never lets the attention get to her head. She remains humble, and best of all, she's intuitive, cheerful, and speaks out from her heart. Then enter the introverted bespectacled Makoto Kurume, who's a big advocate of unhealthy snack eating. She's the type to retreat into her shell and has become bitter towards those with sparkling personalities, so being a polar opposite to Yuzuki was initially tricky to work with, but the two forms an unlikely friendship thanks partly to Mitsumi's efforts. The captivating interplay between our leading pair and these charming supportive characters harmonize well and add the perfect charm to our story, serving up a delightful slice of life that is truly an enjoyable watch. Then adding a burst of color and movement to the charming narrative and captivating characters, the animation serves as the perfect catalyst, breathing life into monochromatic manga while remaining faithful to the source. Orchestrating this visual symphony is none other than director Kotomi Dei, who was an ardent fan of the manga even before its anime adaptation, and as she shares, so was most of her team. It's no wonder then that the anime is imbued with such passion. But how did Kotomi assemble such a dream team of zealous animators and flawlessly translate the manga's essence to the screen? The answer lies in her own personal journey. Initially, Kotomi was set on a career in filmmaking until she was utterly captivated by Shinichiro Watanabe's highly acclaimed work, Cowboy Bebop. Fortunately, Watanabe announced a new project in 2005, 2003 that he had been pondering over since 1999. Seizing this golden opportunity, Kotomi applied and successfully worked on her idol's new TV series, Samurai Champloo. Impressing Watanabe with her dedication and skills, she was invited to join his next big venture, Ergo Proxy. Over the years, she built strong connections with the industry's biggest names, notably Sayo Yamamoto, Tomohiko Ito, and Hiromu Arakawa. Through this invaluable experience and the trust placed in her by these industry titans, Kotomi grew as a director. Surrounded by a supportive team, she was able to manifest her vision and deliver a truly magnificent project, making Skip and Loafer the anime sensation that it is today. But the animation isn't the only highlight. From the moment you press play, one aspect of the show that's guaranteed to captivate your senses is the show's brilliantly mellow color palette. Misaki Takamatsu, the creator herself, mentioned in an interview that she was pleasantly surprised by how harmoniously the hues of the anime blended with the characters. This seamless fusion doesn't just serve as a visual treat, it elegantly complements the narrative by subtly enhancing the storytelling. You see, Kotomi Dayai didn't merely replicate the color scheme from the manga covers, she took it a step further. She interpreted the world through the characters' eyes and interpreted the palette accordingly. This empathetic and nuanced interpretation, tailored to the characters' personalities, demonstrates Kotomi's vast experience in the industry. It's a delicate craft, one that can't be mastered overnight, but rather honed over time. But why did author Misaki steer her narrative from a traditional rom-com to a more grounded storyline with Skip and Loafer? One key reason was her intention to foster a deeper connection between the audience and the characters through a lens of realism. Each character is wrapped up in their own personal strife, whether that's someone bringing us down, getting picked on for being different, or strenuously having to upkeep appearances to meet societal expectations. This underpinning of authenticity serves not only to make the characters more relatable, but also adds a layer of depth to the narrative that separates Skip and Loafer from your average rom-com. Misaki's goal was to create a wholesome story that operates within the realms of reality. Skip and Loafer embody this sense of realism, addressing themes such as trans representation and the complex chemistry of human relationships. By seamlessly weaving these elements into the storyline, the series achieves a perfect blend that resonates with viewers while staying true to its realistic nature. In essence, Skip and Loafer is an innocent tale of human connections seen through the eyes of the diligent yet goofy Mitsumi Iwakura. Every experience is new and exciting for her, and her genuine ability to see the positive in others makes her the approachable classmate that many students gravitate towards, particularly our beloved Sousuke Shima. As their relationship develops, the audience is kept on edge, eagerly anticipating how their connection will evolve and how the supporting characters will influence their journey. Together, our main duo and each character in Skip and Loafer have a story to tell, adding depth and richness to the overarching narrative. So, if you need great entertainment, Skip and Loafer is the unrivaled slice of life you must watch. It offers a delightful blend of comedy, romance, and relatable moments that will keep you hooked. That's it, folks, but don't miss our next video where we'll delve even deeper into the fascinating world of anime. Stay tuned and thanks for watching!